जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Well, KKR were the hosts today, but Punjab brought all the hospitality. They decided to bowl first. Then they gave a whole lot of runs. They dropped a whole lot of catches. And with some very attacking batting, KKR have gotten to 260 in their 20 overs. Phil Salt 75, Sunil Narine 71, Venkatesh Iyer 39. And the bowling is an unfortunate side for Punjab. Arshdeep picking up those 2 wickets in his 4 but went for 45. We're back at Cricbuzz Live. I've got Mr. Harsha Bhogle and Mr. Simon.
You got there, Simon. You got there.
Got it.
But what was this? Yet another 200 plus score this IPL. You were telling us the figures, 16 in 42.
In 42 innings and only one or two have been chased down. But I think this whole program should be an exclusive with Simon Doull and his prediction of 237, which he thought might be too high.
Yeah. Didn't we
I
all,
pushed
Simon?
the boat out.
Yes.
And I thought you could have followed me. You could have gone a bit.
I should have been brave.
Even then,
Should
you
have
probably
been
wouldn't
brave.
have gone anywhere near 250 odd, would you?
But again, I asked you all this in the green room. What were they thinking? Why would they bowl first?
yeah,
there
I
has to
mean-
be some logic to it, but they didn't say anything in the toss.
Oh, we said it prior to the game that I said they'd given the advantage away. I didn't realise they'd given it away that much. But the problem is when your batting is struggling, you often resort to the wrong decisions to save your batting. And I think that's this case. So worried about the batting woes that they decided to just take the easier option, which is to bowl first. And then if they don't chase the score down, they can blame the bowlers for not bowling well enough because the score was too high to chase. Rather than saying, guys, we're going to release all the pressure, just go out and bat. You know, we need some runs from the top order. It's obviously a great surface. So it's a poor option. A really poor option at the toss from Sam Curran, and we're not saying it in hindsight. We said it prior to the innings
So you
starting.
think Curran's put his batter's hat on at the toss?
I think he has. I think he has. He's put his batter's hat on, and maybe it's a management decision as well. But it's when you're under the pump, take all the pressure away and just go out and bat first. But batters in general don't see it like that.
Yes.
They tend to see it as, well, if we bowl first, even if they get too many, we can blame the bowlers.
The moment you start thinking like that, though, it means you're not thinking of winning the game.
Correct.
You're already
think of
on
facing
the
save.
back foot
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Did I say facing save? Saving face.
Saving face.
Was it the...
It's all right. Sam Curran got the toss backwards. Fine. Don't worry about it.
They're thinking of saving face.
Yes. Yeah.
And on the edit, only that word's going out. But yeah, that means you're thinking defensive straight away. It doesn't matter. You go into a cricket match hoping to win. And I think history shows you what KKR themselves have done. It required one of the innings of the tournament to win a game batting second, which we saw from Josh Butler for RR. So you bat first, pile on the runs, and that's been the mantra. So, I mean, I think in that KKR room, they were saying, wow, man, may we have this decision every day.
But you said they were being defensive, and when you're being defensive to two very attacking batters, you get what we got when Phil Salt and Sunil Narine went out, because their partnership was 138 and 63, and Harsha, they got quite a few opportunities because there were 3 dropped catches. So when you are already on the back foot, when your bowlers are going for a plenty, you cannot drop those catches.
And as you see from that graphic, I think they scored less in the back 10 than they did in the first 10. But you have to hold the catches. I mean, your bowlers on tracks like these need all the support they can get. The bowler's got 2 enemies before the game starts. That's the guy who makes the pitch and the person who makes the ball. So he's starting out with 2 enemies already. So now all the other 10 must be your friends because he's got nothing else. He's got nowhere to go. Hold every edge. And I think the early catches they put down, even the one that Sunil Narine did there, I think it was made to look difficult. I don't think it was that difficult. From here, everything looks easy, but they've got to hold catches.
But Simon, credit where it's due, because you have to still get the runs. You have to still hit those boundaries and hit those sixes. And it's just been a master stroke to get Sunil Narine up top, because everything seems to be turning into gold dust when he kind of hits that ball.
Yeah, I mean, look, who would have thought that Sunil Narine would be second on the orange cap list behind Virat Kohli? I said in the combox, Harsha, in their wildest dreams, they would not have imagined a 400-plus run season.
They dyed the caps wrong.
For me, for Sunil Narine. You know, it's been, I mean, we were here, I think we were here the first game when they decided to open with him.
Yes.
And you looked at his record in the last 3 to 4 years opening the batting. It had just been appalling.
I think
he averaged 7.
His batting average for KKR in the last 3 years is 7, 8 and 3.
Yeah. So I think overall in the last 3 years it was 7. Mm-hmm. So whoever made that decision, whatever Sunil Narine has been doing in the last sort of 6 months to improve his batting, or to maybe just get back to what he showed at times in that sort of 16, 17, 18, 19 times, credit to them and credit to him, because it's been phenomenal. You know, and to have that power along with Phil Salt, it can blow you off the park. And we've seen it now more often than not. They're striking it over 200, I think, as a combination.
Yes.
And when you come in up against power like that, it can be very intimidating to bowl to, very difficult to bowl to. And yes, as a batter, you're going to have a little bit of luck now and then. When you're a player like Narine, he's not a genuine opener. He is a pinch hitter. So you are going to need an element of luck now and then. It was given to him again tonight, but boy, you've still got to keep hitting them. And he's just been unbelievably good.
It's back to Chris Lynn and Sunil Narine.
Yeah,
remember when they got the 105 in the power play?
Yeah.
And we thought that's one record that'll never go. But he said, when we asked him about going back to the top of the order, he said, Gigi came up to me and just gave me the confidence to be able to do it again.
Brilliant.
So I think you're looking at someone who's averaged 893. It's still the same player. AI has not generated a clone and put him out there. It's still the same player. Yeah. Just see what confidence does.
Yeah.
And he's just, I mean, the pitches have helped as well.
Yes.
But he's just been given the confidence to go. I think it's the impact sub rule has helped, because you got Ramandeep batting at 8. So it doesn't matter if he gets out. Yeah. So how do you stop a guy who's not afraid to get out?
Yeah.
That's why he's a kamikaze batter.
And along with him, he's got Phil Salt, adding to those wounds. When you put salt on those wounds, they've just been so good together.
Every day, KKR will send a message out to Roida.
Yes.
Yeah.
To Roida.
Again, Simon 202 strike rate. He's got 75 today. Both of them, you don't, like, sometimes you feel that, okay, you know, someone will take a back seat at the other end, but with both of them, there's only attack.
Yeah, there is no back seat. It's a car with only 2 front seats, and they both got pedals.
Yes.
They're both pushing them hard to the floor, and it's good to watch. You know, Phil Salt's I've seen Phil Salt a lot in the last few years, being in England, and he's just got power. He's got a great power game. He loves to hit the quick bowlers. He can play the spinners really well. And he hits the short ball as well as just about anyone in the game, particularly at the top of the order. His power down the ground is sensational. So it's a really good combination they've got going. And that's why they're sitting number 2 on the table. That's why I think obviously with the freedom of Narine, it frees up Salt. Not that I think he's ever going to play any differently to that anyway, but it's working the oracle for KKR at the moment. And good luck trying to stop them.
I want to have a look at that batting card, because when we were having our dinner in the green room, I could see 2 very unhappy people. Even though KKR was doing so well, they were just wondering why Rinku is not coming up. So Venkatesh Iyer came, then there was Andrew Shreyas Iyer. This was the left and right combination they were talking about. But again, Harsha, Rinku doesn't get enough balls. He's just faced 4 balls.
He's got no option but to try and slog the first one that he gets. Which is, you're on a hiding to nothing. If it comes off, it comes off. Ramandeep connected 1, missed 2. So it comes off, it comes off. But I just thought, I mean, today you can't dispute. You look at the numbers, Venkatesh Iyer is striking at 170, which is below the team strike rate. But it came off today for them. But I still think Rinku batting in there, getting those 4 or 5 balls, and for his own career, for his own well-being.
And also just for greedy KKR fans, do you think they would have gotten more if Rinku had come up?
I love the way she's on the front foot against KKR fans.
That's good, I like that. Yeah. There's no telling what Rinku could have done given 25 balls. It's all hindsight. We did talk about the fact that Venkatesh Iyer's position was either 3 or 7.
Yes.
So I like what they did with that tonight. You lose a left-hander, you send a left-hander out at 3. So that was what they were looking for the whole way. They're trying to negate whether it be Bra or Doull Saiyami by having a left-right combination at the crease the whole time. And you saw when Salt got out, Russell came in. So I like the promotion of Russell, even though it didn't work out to the max today. But
it's okay, 24 of 12.
24 of 12 in that
forward.
situation, you take the game on, you take it forward. There's no issue with that. So I think everybody certainly did their job. They just, they're mixed with this left-right combo. And with Iyer batting at 3, as long as he stayed, Rinku was always going to slide down the order. And it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'd love to see him get more deliveries, but you can't complain about what they've done today at all.
Well, they were 137 in the Combox when we were together. So we'll have a look at the innings progression, because if at all we had to say there was a dip, was maybe the 11
They
to 15,
slowed down to
right?
10.6.
Slowed down to 10.6.
Can you imagine? They slowed down to 10.6. And then they only picked up to 14.2. I think we're entering the era of recalibration. And if you're going to prepare tracks like these, then you just have to recalibrate what is acceptable and what isn't. Because, as I said, a bowler cannot go out with 2 enemies staring him in front. So either you change the pitches or you give them a better ball.
But again, now we need to talk about Punjab's bowling, because there was no Harpreet Brar up until the 11th over. And then just the way he tossed his bowlers around, it was a little confusing. There was no certain plan that Sam Curran had when he went onto the field.
No, I mean, the plan was to keep the left armour away from any left-handers, and that's why he didn't come into the picture until the 11th over. Doull Saiyami, pretty good, considering the score. When you look at those numbers, I mean, Rabada had an off day. We built him up, didn't we? We built him up properly in the pre-show. Talked about how good he was. He's had an off day. Harshal's had another bad day. And the skipper's gone for plenty. So, look, it's flat, it's hard. You feel for the bowlers, but there still has to be a plan of some sort. And they looked a little bit frazzled. I think they just looked a little bit frazzled tonight. And KKR have just put them to the sword.
10 overs for 160 with 3 international bowlers. You're talking Rabada, one of the very best. Harshal, who's had many good seasons. He's won the Purple Cap. Sam Curran has been player of the tournament in a T20 World Cup. Between them, they've gone 160 runs in
10 overs.
10 overs.
Yeah.
I mean, so what is next? This is like a country on the verge of collapse. This is like their inflation rate. It's just going up and up. You say, okay, 30%, okay, 60%, okay, 300%, okay. So what is okay now?
And also someone who's such an economical bowler as Sunil Narine, he said that I might be an economical bowler, but I want to be an attacking batter, because he's become this attacking batter as well.
Well, he's got his name written all over the MVP of the tournament, hasn't he? If he keeps going like this, I mean, he could have a bad 6 games and still get 500 runs.
Yeah, but
and so, I mean, he could have a 500-run, 20-wicket season, the way he's going, which is just unbelievable when you think about those numbers. But yeah, look, I don't say he's reinvented himself. He's just been given a license, been given some freedom and taken any pressure away of having to do a job. Just go out there and see if you can do a job. And it's clearly freed him up.
I'm just looking at those bowling numbers and I'm thinking Sunil Narine or Varun Chakrabarti, the spinner bowled 4 overs for 33. So Sunil Narine and Chakrabarti can get, even if they get 8 overs in for 75.
Yeah.
You still need to get about 200, 190 in the other 12.
Yeah.
But you were talking about how much is enough, because when you have a look at the bowling card, you just feel like, when you're 14, 15 years old, you don't want to become a bowler. Like, what are you going in to bowl for? Because,
and
like you said, Rabada
that's a valid point. If there's a 14-year-old kid today watching this, what do you think the kid wants to become?
Yeah, well, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a fair point. I mean, and is it just the impact player freeing up batters at the top and through the middle? Is it that teams have got their combinations spot on with that impact player? Is it the surfaces that are too flat? Yeah. There's a combination of everything.
Chahar said there's a competition among groundsmen to prepare a 300 track.
Which is not good.
Which is not good for the game.
He was saying it tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
was
not
just
good
throwing
for
up
the
his
game.
hands in helplessness.
Yeah.
Well, if you've had 16 200-plus scores already in 42 games, we see the trend of what kind of wickets we are making. Prabh Simran's come in for Arshdeep and talking about the impact.
Some of the grounds are big enough to push the boundaries further out. That's one thing I will say.
100%.
Get rid of some of the advertising get it back against the actual fence and get those boundaries out another 3, 4, 5 metres. That will make a big difference. I can tell you that for nothing. Some of the boundaries can be pushed out at some of these grounds. Not all of them. Not all of them have got a lot of room, but some of the... you walk around Wankhede Stadium, there's probably...
Still room. Yes.
Between the grandstand and the boundary rope, there's probably 6 or 7 metres. Push those advertising boardings right to the boundary, right to the fence line, and get the boundaries back 3, 4 metres. A lot of the sixes are going into the grandstand, I get that, but a lot of them are falling 1 metre, 2 metres, 3 metres over the boundary rope.
Is the objective to prevent sixes being hit or make them difficult or to make them easier?
Make them, and that's the thing, isn't it? You want to make them difficult. You want to have a batter hit the ball cleanly. Yeah. You can't be clothing it for six time and time again. So that is one thing that I think can happen, and it happens all over the world. Boundaries are getting bought in more and more rather than taken out. And everybody screams a bit of health and safety and blah, blah, blah. But there is still room, I can tell you, because I get to walk around the boundaries. We get to walk around the boundaries. There is plenty of room at some of these grounds. So that's one thing I would say could be done.
I think we'll discuss a few more things from the bowler's point of view once Punjab are done with their batting, because I'm sure we need a whole long list if you want to see young bowlers. What we need to see is us getting one prediction right. I'm not so much on Team Simon, so I think you go first.
129.
129 in 6?
I'm just letting the imagination go. I'm going 69.
69.
Okay.
Do you want to go?
No, you go.
Go on, you going higher or lower?
I'll be a good host.
Are you going higher or lower? Go on. Which one do you want?
Higher.
You want higher?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go lower. 61.
But tell me, you are the international player here. You must go with your instinct. Why are you going by what anchor doesn't want to do?
No, because I want to help her out. I'm trying to be a nice guest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Simon. So we've got 61, 69. I'm going to go with 76.
And they'll probably make 102 or something.
Yeah. We'll wait and watch because our prediction game is very serious, as you all know. So we will see what happens at the power play point. But we'll give you all the updates at the 10 over point, and we'll see you at the Cricbuzz com box.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें